Hey there, Aries Sun, Aries Moon, Aries Rising. It's Maggie. Welcome to Moonlit Waters. Happy New Year to you. We're going to do the January reading for 2022. I am excited about a number of things. One, 2022 looks like an amazing year, just numerologically speaking. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. It's soulmate energy, but it comes with all these packages of 2. So I think that this year we will be finding a soulmate here, a soulmate there, here, a soulmate there, soulmate everywhere, soulmates. So soulmates could be your pets, it could be your family, it could be your friends, it could be your next door neighbor, it could be your boss, a coworker. But I think that here and there you'll start to find who resonates with your new energy. We're all in new energy, and it's a matter of sifting and sorting to figure out where we still fit in and where we're moving on to. So it's kind of an exciting year. I'm doing the Celtic Cross for you. We're going to cover the energy for the month. I'm going to cover health, wealth, and happiness. And then you may have noticed that in the description box there is a membership portal. And I am going to put the extended. Okay, I'm saying that before I've set that up, so I'm hoping that it'll be there. If it's not, come back and look for it, because that means I ran into some technical whatever. But hopefully on Thursday morning before these come out, I will have the membership portal set up. And there will be an extended reading that I will do right after this. We'll cover love. It'll be love for singles, couples, and those that are happily single, not looking at all. And then we'll take a look at your soul path. So there'll be an extended. You'll be able to see all 12 for the same membership price. There will be other levels of membership in there. So be sure to check that out. I am excited to be able to offer that. People have asked me about the meditation groups that I lead, and so there will be an opportunity to be able to access meditations. Some of the deeper Sunday soul growth stuff will be in there. These channelings for the Ascended Masters will be in there. And also some more very special videos on how to work with each of the big planetary cycles and shifts that start. I am going to start with the North Node. Well, I think actually I'll start with the Venus cycle, and then I'll go to the North Node. So that may or may not be in the portal by the time you see this, but that is coming. So I'm super excited about starting the new year with being able to offer more opportunities. I want to thank you so much for all of your support over the last few years, the likes, the shares, the comments, for subscribing. And I know that you aren't always notified when you hit that notification bell, whether or not when I put up a video. So I want to encourage you to check back frequently. That is a thing that Facebook does. If you haven't if you haven't recently watched the video on YouTube, they will forget to show us. Look at this. Your overall energy for the month is the 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups. Big butterfly at the top, transformational energy. This is transformation in a very 3D. So this is the kind of transformation where either you've lost a lot of weight, you're starting a new job, you have a new living situation. It's something very tangible, very evident. It's a big change, but it brings you abundance and happiness, and that's what we're working on for this month. So that is excellent. So let's go ahead and get into what we have here. Ooh, look at you. You're starting out at the 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords, I only read these in the upright, but it is reversed, and it kind of is making me feel like what this is saying is you have been cleverly sorting through how to manage a situation and how to figure it out. You are in the process of sorting. Wow, this is so interesting. Sorting through some things to figure out what it is that you're going to do. Okay, Aries, wow. Aries, you are completing a cycle. You have the 10 of Swords, the 10 of Wands, the 10 of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles on here. You have all the 10s. So as you wrap up this year, 2021, as it is kicking, being kicked out the door, 2022 is coming in, that is that energy. So the 10 and the 1. So the 10, so the 0, that's the completing of the cycle, and the 1 is the initiation of the new cycle. Have the beginner's mind, they just said. Have the beginner's mind. All right, so here we go. This is a meerkat. It is very protective of its own space. Even though it's the 7 of Swords, oftentimes with the 7 of Swords, it's a liar, cheater, thief card. You hear that kind of stuff. I look at it as more of, it depends on what's going on, but it's more of the sorting out, the figuring out, I'm in a situation, what is the best way to navigate this? It's definitely in the thought area. How can I manage my resources in a way that really works for me? When I see it like this, and you've got these 5 swords down inside of the hole, and the 2 swords standing guard, but look, the sun is coming up. I think it's almost as though you stood watch over the nighttime, making sure nothing was coming to get you, because you were completing a big cycle. In the subconscious, we have the 10 of Swords. You know it's over. In the conscious mind, you have the 10 of Wands. It is definitely ending of a very difficult period. It is a big transition, a big change, a big shift that is happening here. The energy to lean into is the 7 of Wands, and the 7 of Wands is represented by a skunk in this deck, and the 7 of Wands as a skunk says, hold your ground. If you need space, let people know. A lot of times when we're going through difficulties, we pull our energy in. We really don't want to talk to anybody because we need time to process. And I'm looking at these cards. I think you need a lot of time to process right now. I think the month of January is processing and assessing and figuring out what you need to do next. The caution here, the challenge here, is how do you physically take care of what you need? Provide for yourself financially, a job change, some kind of a situation that came up. There's some kind of a thing, because you have the 4 of Pentacles in the area of challenge. So it's identifying where your resources are, what needs to be saved, what needs to be spent, what do you need to protect. It's all this protection energy here, right? You're definitely in the process of protecting yourself. And that's a challenge. Somehow you feel very challenged to do this, but the opportunity is the Temperance card. And the Temperance card, look at that. It's the rainbow after the storm. 1 foot in the water. So that's aware of your emotional waters, definitely. So the thing about flamingos that's interesting to me is the more salmon, well, not salmon, shellfish, the more shellfish that they eat, the pinker they are. This is a very, very pink flamingo. So he's finding everything it needs. It's got the rainbow, we've got the flow of blessings and the abundance coming in from behind in that waterfall. Everything you need is there. Temperance generally means taking two very disparate things, fire and water, and creating something new and amazing. But it's also, the way this is represented, standing on 1 leg in your emotional waters is regaining your emotional balance. But look how safe and protected. And here you look safe and protected. I think you're safe and protected. I think you know that, because I think it's you doing it for yourself, right? That skunk knows how to protect himself. Believe me, if he lets loose there, all those, whoever's holding those wands are going to back off, right? There's been a lot of standing guard. You find yourself in the energy of the moon. This is a different looking full moon. It's an owl of wisdom coming in, and it's shining its light down onto the waters. So it's illuminating your emotional energy in a way. Look, it looks like this little round pool of water here that you are standing in. There is wisdom to be gained from the hard things that go on in our lives. As far as I'm concerned, that's the purpose of them. We go through challenges because we wanted to, as a soul, come here to learn and grow. And apparently, you have been going through a major growth cycle. It is in the releasing and the letting go of the past. It is in letting go of the situations that don't work for you. I just did the weeklies. If you haven't seen your weekly yet, you should. This week, for January 24th through the 27th through the 2nd of January. So December 27th through the 2nd of January. What Spirit showed me was a hallway. And it was all these doors. Some of them were open and some of them were closed. And walking down the hallway and deciding which doors to close and which new doors to open. Some of the doors stayed open. Doors that were open represented things you have already experienced or are currently experiencing. The closed doors were the opportunities and the options. Not every one of them was worth opening. So you are seeking to transform your life into this 9 of Cups energy of happiness. But first, there's a need to regain your balance. There's a need to settle into who you are and to do it's a balancing, it's a regaining of your inner harmony and peace. In your environment, well, I'm going to go to first your advice. Your advice here is the Knight of Swords. So here you have a big tunnel and you have all these swords around you and you're protecting yourself. Your advice is the Knight of Swords, but look, it's covered in the hole. It's built its castle on top. It's got its shield and its sword, and it's just as aware, but it has a higher vantage point, and now you have the ability to fly even higher and see everything and move quicker. It's a change of perspective. So it's a rook, which is in the crow-raven family. So that's magic. It's deep wisdom. He's not holding the sword. It's laying there. It's ready. He can use it if he wants. But he's put a shield of protection, so safe, healthy boundaries. But he doesn't have to stay up all night waiting for the sun to come up to feel safe and protected. There's all that green and that growth around too, like lots of things coming in. This is a very barren desert looking scene, right? This has experienced a lot of growth and the ground around this hole is starting to fill in. The advice, I think, is to take a higher perspective. Look for where you have the growth opportunities. Where can you move things? Where do you want to plant your seeds of intention that have the potential to really grow and support you? Because in your environment, you've got the 10 of Pentacles. So, big opportunities in your environment. Here, the challenge is to not get so afraid of losing everything that you don't open up and plant those seeds. Or, because he's literally planting the seeds, it could be that it's where do you put your resources and time? Because in the environment, there's opportunity for massive growth. We've got lots of rabbits and lots of pentacles going on there. It has a full moon on it. There's something about this moon here. It feels like a cycle, allowing one cycle to end so that new cycles can begin. There's a divine timing aspect here. I'm not sure the outcome is interesting, and I feel like the outcome is actually split into two things for a reason. The cards, when they came out, they looked like they were like this is one group and this is one group. Actually, this is more like the choice. The choices and the decisions that you make as an individual What doors do you leave open? Which ones do you close? Which ones do you take a look in and see if they're worth going into or not, right? Those are choices and decisions. Always in our life, our outcome is a result of our choices and decisions, good or bad. It is always consequences for actions, and consequences just means what is the outcome. If you zig, you get this. If you zag, you get that. Spirit wants to remind you you're never off your path. Sometimes we just choose to take the scenic route. Sometimes that scenic route goes right through the University of Hard Knocks. Those degrees and diplomas that come out of the University of Hard Knocks are well earned, and they benefit us in the long run, even though there's been a lot of all-nighters and not taking good care of ourselves and feeling like we're on a treadmill running and we can't keep up, and there's always this deadline and this due date and this thing that you have to do and all the difficulties that come with going to the university. In the end, there's something tangible. You transform your life in a very tangible way that is very satisfying. You're on the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords in this case is interesting because there's two swords. He's got a foot on each sword and he's looking into the future, and it's almost like he's choosing which Ace of Swords, which opportunity, which new start is he going to use. He doesn't look blocked or stuck. He's not blinded. He's looking into the rising sun. He is making choice decision. I love this card. But it's important that you think hard about what your next choice is. What is your next choice? And so making this from, that's balance, right? He's balancing between two options. He's balanced. He's in the pause, in the state of pausing and waiting. He is in temperance. There is a need, and again, this bird is not flying. He's paused. He's waiting. Feel like you need to, so here, you're gaining the wisdom and you're moving forward, but there's a need to interiorly take a pause, take a breath. Observe a little bit longer, because you need time to move away from this energy of this end of the cycle. Here on one side, we have the Five of Cups. This is the most brutal looking Five of Cups ever. Look at this. There's two cups remaining, and he's swimming away from it. Like he's swimming away from the disaster. And he's heading toward the Ten of Cups. 5 to 10 doesn't happen. That's not right next to each other. The 9 to the 10 is. So first, this. And eventually, the 10. First, there's a need to transform your life. The butterfly doesn't, this temperance, this waiting, this healing, this regeneration, it feels like it's when we take all the pieces of us and we assess a situation. We've completed a cycle, or you're definitely in the you're about to. And we allow that space to figure out who we are now. Who are we now, right? The caterpillar takes some time in the cocoon to decide it wants to be a butterfly. It doesn't really decide it wants to, but you know what I'm saying. It takes time to allow for all the little molecules and everything to rearrange themselves in order to create the butterfly. When I was a kid, I used to think that the caterpillar went into the cocoon and like unzipped, and inside were the wings and it flew out, but that's not actually how it works. It breaks down, most of it breaks down and rearranges, and the new arrangement creates the wings and the butterfly flies away. I'm going through a very dark night of the soul kind of energy here, but the future looks really bright. I do not think for the majority of you that you end up at the Ten of Cups at the end of January. That seems a little unreasonable, but opportunity to get there is in your environment. I think it comes down to what choices you make now. Do you choose to close yourself off? Or do you choose, oh God, they just said, don't be so afraid of change that you aren't willing to move forward. It's not about, be willing to make some changes. Wow. If you can let go and allow yourself to swim away into the future looks great. Well, Aries. Okay, so last week when I did your weekly reading, halfway through I got confused as to which weekly reading I was doing, and I thought I was talking to a different sign or something. I got all confused. It was very much about partnership, and so halfway through I thought I was talking to Libra because it's your 7th house of partnership, and so maybe it was talking to your 7th house partnership, but I got all done and I was like, what? And I played the thing back and I'm like, So I re-recorded the video and it came out much differently the second time. That first video was definitely about working through partnership issues and being willing to release and let go. So for some of you, now partnership can be business. It's not necessarily and honestly, when I'm looking at this, I think for the vast majority of you, it's about business. It can be romantic, but when I'm looking at this and what you have going on here looks more like work is beating the crap out of you and it's hurting your home life. And in which case, by the end of the month, if you make some changes, you can. You know, because you've got this 10 of Pentacles, which is happy home, having it all financially too. And this. So maybe a change of job gives you more time with your family, which builds that part. May not be as much money, but maybe it brings you more abundance. Okay, so Spirit picked some cards for this reading that I'm not real familiar with. So in the area of health, we have the Mermaid's Love. So we're going to read the book. They're really short, and I don't really know what they're saying. I haven't used this deck in a couple of years, actually. So, love, partnership, support, accord. A loving couple is shown on this card. The woman is a mermaid. Her hair and tail seem to float about her in the sky. A man with feathers holds her hand. He grounds and protects her. He is her base. There's a 10 of Pentacles that is in your environment. They are from different worlds, water and the sky. It's so like Temperance, right? Two disparate things. They are complete together, a perfect love union. The difference makes them stronger and balanced. They support each other in their own way, but they always have a place of respect. But always from a place of respect and love. You know, if you are so afraid of making some kind of a change at work because you're afraid you're going to lose financially, I think your partner steps up. And that's how you get here so quickly. So the answer is seek what makes you happy. Be willing to transform your life in order to what makes you happy. Because you look really, I mean, that is a hot mess of an interior square going on here. All right, let's look at wealth. Should be interesting. All right. You have the great nurturer, the moon. You have the moon card here. The great nurturer, the moon. I give and receive nourishment. Devoted, loving, wise, empathic, compassionate, abundant, generous, receptive, emotional, inclusive, supported, stable. That is you. I think some of you may be really torn. It's like you want more time at home with your family, and you're afraid that you can't afford it. And I think there was some really creative problem solving. You have these 2 sevens here. That's divine guidance in action and thought. I think some really creative problem solving. You don't have to feel so overburdened, and you can stop feeling so completely exhausted. There's a way to do this. So you have the moon and you have the sun. And the sun is the celebrity. I lead with my light. Charismatic, imaginative, luminous, confident, authentic, inspiring, passionate, magnetic, impactful, public, fashionable, independent, noble, and generous and unique. You have an opportunity here to step out of the dark into the light. I think you have too much on your plate. There's a need to take some stuff off of your plate so that you feel like you have time for all the things that you really want to do and all the people you want to be with. And honestly, Aries, you're showing up as the sun. There you are, right? Aries is the moon is interesting. So I want to remind you, as always, to check out your sun, your moon, and your rising. The sun sign, that is your soul journey, right? That is how you view the world. That is the soul and the core of who you are. But your rising sign is how you're interacting with the world. So checking out your rising sign might also give you a little more guidance on what your next steps would be. You may find that very useful. And your moon is how you respond and feel emotionally, how you react. I shouldn't even say respond. It's more like react and feel to the situations going on around you. And then when you put all this together, it's very easy to figure out what needs to be done. There is a need for you to take a break, to take a pause, to catch your breath. You have stepping into the stillness. This is your happiness, okay? The happiness cards say, stepping into the stillness, my power is born in the majesty of silence, and then believing in magic. It is the end to the beginning. This is the concluding of a cycle and the start of a new one. This is like the magician card, the 1. This, stepping into the stillness, that moon is dissipating and disappearing. True magic is abounding in my life, is your mantra. True magic is abounding in my life. There is plenty of great stuff on this side. It is where the energy you are currently in, it's too much. Nobody can make these changes for you. But you can. You can. January looks very interesting. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. And I would love to see you over there in the membership portal. There's going to be other things coming along for that. But initially, I'm starting with just the 3 sections and different things going on in each of them. But you will have access to all of the extended readings at just the $4.99 level. So you'll get to see cross-watch all you want. All right, you guys take really good care of yourselves. I am on Facebook if you need a little help daily. There's daily guidance over there. And I look forward to connecting with you soon. You take very good care. Leave me a comment. Let me know what's going on. I'd love to know.